Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about that module number 3, that is performance of transmission lines. Here we are going to discuss about that Ferranti effect in transmission lines. For all the cases, here Ferranti effect is nothing but voltage increasing in the receiving end of an electrical transmission line when it is operated in a no load condition or low load condition. As we know that very clear, while we are transferring that power from sending end location to receiving end location, always receiving end power or receiving end voltage is less than that of that sending end voltage because of the line losses which takes place due to the distribution of parameters at unit centimeter of the conductor for a given length of the transmission line. So in this regard there are losses. So due to these losses only the receiving end voltage or receiving end power is always less than that of sending end voltage. But regarding to the concept of Ferranti effect, due to the distribution of parameters over the length of the transmission line in an uniform manner, by calculating that or by considering that more capacitive currents into count, therefore the receiving end voltage is greater than that of the sending end voltage at particular cases, especially at no load condition or low load condition. This effect is called, or this phenomenon is called as Ferranti effect, which was discovered by an electrical engineer Sebastian Gianni di Ferranti. In the year of 1887, he first noted a voltage increase in certain points of a London power system. The effect is caused by the interaction between the inductance and capacitance of the transmission line. When the power line is operated, especially at no load conditions or low load conditions, during that interval, the voltage in the receiving end can be higher than the input voltage. In this regard, the voltage exceeds the rated value of the line. It can result in dangerous situations and cause stress on the cables and components. By the time the power system equipment may get damaged due to that over voltage. So let us consider the long transmission line in which OE represents the receiving end voltage. So look at this figure, OE of this phasor diagram. OE represents that receiving end voltage, and OH represents the current through the capacitor at the receiving end. OH in this phasor diagram, that shows that capacitor current for the given transmission network. Here I am taken that nominal pi section network into count. So the phasor FE represents that voltage drop across the resistance R. Of course, in this pi section diagram there is a resistance. Due to this resistance, what happens means, due to the flow of current, there exists that drop across the resistance, that I am going to take it into count as FE. Look at the phasor diagram, FE. So FE is because of flow of current through the resistance. So FE is nothing but the drop to the receiving end voltage, which is in right angles to the receiving end voltage. Now then the voltage drop across the inductance, the phasor OG represents the sending end voltage under a no load condition. OG, look at OG, O2G, that represents that sending end voltage. OG, here G is there. So OG, so sending end voltage is equal to algebraic sum of receiving end voltage VR plus the drops across that resistance, drops across the inductive reactance. If you see here the drop across the inductive reactance, that is XIC1, that is right angles to the drop across that resistance. Therefore VR plus R into IC1 plus X into IC1 is equal sending end voltage from this phasor diagram. So in this phasor diagram, one more thing here we observe, that is OE is greater than OG. So length of OE, look at here, the length of OE, where is that OE here? The length of OE, here, this one, which is greater than that of OG. So that means length of arrow mark is nothing but magnitude. So the magnitude of receiving end voltage is greater than the magnitude of the sending end voltage from this phasor diagram. Therefore, in other words, the voltage at receiving end is greater than the voltage at the sending end, while the line is at no load condition where losses are not taken into count and the line capacitance current is again discharged to the transmission line. Therefore, it leads that over voltage. So from nominal pi model network, here Vs is equal 1 plus Zy by 2 into Vr plus Z into IR. This formula we are taken as a reference formula from the concept of pi network, from nominal pi model of the network. This is the formula what we already proved in earlier video. That formula I am taken into reference again here. So at no load condition here IR is equal 0. I am going to substitute IR is equal 0 in the above equation. If I am going to substitute that IR is equal 0 in this equation, the above equation can become as Vs is equal 1 plus Zy by 2 into Vr. So here I am going to subtract that receiving end voltage from the sending end voltage. Then the above equation can become as Vs minus Vr is equal 1 plus Zy by 2 into Vr minus of Vr. Therefore, here I am going to take that Vr as common at right hand side. The above equation can become as Vr of 1 plus Yz by 2 minus 1. Left hand side it is Vs minus Vr. Therefore, Vs minus Vr is equal Vr of 1 plus Yz by 2 minus 1. So, Vs minus Vr is equal Yz by 2 into Vr. So, Yz by 2 into Vr, because here plus 1 and minus 1 are get cancel each other. The remaining simplified equation can become as Vs minus Vr is equal Yz by 2 into Vr. As we know that Z is equal R plus J of omega L into S as a function, and admittance is equal J omega Cs. So, impedance is offered due to that line resistance and line inductive reactance, and admittance is offered due to that line capacitance which is taken into count reference. One of the capacitance which is taken reference at sending end side, another capacitance, another half segment of the capacitance value which is taken reference at receiving end side. So if the resistance of the line is neglected, so if I am going to neglect that resistance of the transmission line, because whose loss is very small and it is negligible, then the formula of impedance Z is equal to J omega Ls at here. Therefore, I am going to substitute Z is equal J omega Ls and Y is equal J omega C of S in the above equation. Therefore, Vs minus Vr is equal 1 by 2 of J omega Ls into J omega Cs of Vr. So, if I am going to multiply J omega Ls into J omega Cs at right hand side, Vs minus Vr is equal minus 1 by 2. This minus is because of multiplying this J and again this J. J into J, J square is nothing but minus 1. So, minus 1 by 2 of omega square S square of Lc into Vr is the Vs minus Vr formula at here. Again after, for overhead transmission lines, 1 by root C is equal velocity of propagation of electromagnetic waves on the transmission lines, that we can take into 3 into 10 to the power minus 8 meters per second. If I am going to take in that 1 by root Lc value as 3 into 10 to the power minus 8, I can substitute in the place of denominator. Therefore, root of Lc is equal to 1 by 3 into 10 to the power minus 8. Then Lc is equal to, if I am sending that root from left hand side to right hand side here, then again here I got Lc is equal 1 by 3 into 10 to the power minus 8 whole square. Then Lc is nothing but Vs minus Vr. Vs minus Vr is equal minus 1 by 2 omega square S square of, that means Lc I can substitute here, that is 1 by 3 into 10 to the power minus 8 whole square into Vr. As we know that omega is equal to 2 pi f here, if I am going to substitute that omega is equal to 2 pi f in the above equation, then here 2 pi f, that means it become as 4 pi square f square by 2. Then again 1 by 2 here is there and 3 into 10 power minus 8 is there. By multiplying here it got 18. So Vs minus Vr is equal minus 4 pi square divided by 18 into 10 to the power minus 16 f square into S square into Vr is the another equation. After simplifying this, the above equation shows that, in this equation shows that the difference between sending end voltage to receiving end voltage, that is negative. That means receiving end voltage is greater than the sending end voltage. This equation also shows that Ferranti effect also depends on the frequency and the electrical length of the transmission line, because as the length of the transmission line is increases, then the capacitance is uniformly distributed throughout the given length of the transmission line. There again Ferranti effect is taken into count. In general, we know that ABCD constants or ABCD equations are general equations of transmission parameters. That is sending end voltage Vs is equal A into Vr plus B into IR. That is sending end voltage is written in the form of receiving end voltage and receiving end current. Therefore, at no load condition, IR is equal 0 and VR is equal VRNL. That means receiving end side no load voltage. Therefore, Vs is equal A into VRNL. In this equation, IR is equal 0. That means if IR is equal 0, in this equation, if IR is equal 0, then Vs is equal A into VR. So from here we got this equation, Vs is equal A into VRNL at no load condition. From here mod of VRNL is equal mod of Vs divided by mod of A. For a long transmission line, A is less than unity and it decreases with the increase in the length of the transmission line. Therefore, the relation between VRNL and A is inversely proportional here. Hence, the voltage at no load is greater than the voltage at sending end side. Therefore, VRNL is greater than Vs. As the length of the transmission line increases, then the sending end voltage is also going to decreases and the receiving end voltage at no load condition becomes more predominant and it is more than the sending end voltage. Thank you.